That's what I want to talk about is your recent addition to the Ye24 campaign. So Ye24, formerly known as Kanye West, he's running for president in 2024. I don't know if he's made that public yet. What was your involvement in the Ye24 campaign in those months?
I was brought on to be part of the brainstorming sessions and to give ideas. And I was editing and I was part of the content creation, or Ye would call me up and ask me about a tweet. Like, he was banned on Twitter now, but I was basically one of the brain children of Ye24. I've taken a step back from that because, you know, contractually there's just some problems that I can't speak about that much yet. But of course, like, I can't fully invest myself into a movement without being able to support myself. And obviously streaming and everything, what I do, my audience is here. So I have but I completely believe in his message. And of course, you see how controversy is a great way to stay relevant, right? Like saying something like, I love everybody, including Nazis and Jews, that's going to provoke a lot of people. But if you look at the key message, that's something that Jesus would want you to do, loving everybody. And it triggers, and when you take the clip out of context, which most people do, most people don't watch any, people don't have good attention spans anymore. That's just the nature of the internet. So you need to be able to utilize short form and also speak something of value and long form content. So you provoke people, you get people triggered, stuff like that. But if you watch the full length content for Tate, for Ye, even myself, if people think I'm a bad person, if you watch the long form content, I have a positive message, but people, they don't want to, they just want to scroll, and then believe whatever they're told.
And for Kanye, like, he just doesn't articulate himself properly sometimes, so the message doesn't get across.
Right. And we all, I think, inherently know that. He's a musician, he's an artist, so his words are not going to be as strict in what we're used to. Maybe because I fully understand him. I understand everything he talks about. When he says slavery is a choice, I get it. I understand why he's saying that. But his words and his message are not articulated for the general public because he doesn't listen. He doesn't like other people controlling what he talks about. He's one of the most authentic speakers. And in order to reach the masses, you need to play the game, which is what Tate told me in Bucharest. You need to be able to figure out how to get around people's emotions. And he's just an authentic person. Like, speaking to him, you realize he's genuinely, even though he's one of the most famous people of all time, he's genuinely one of the most authentic people I've ever talked to, because he just doesn't let people influence himself because he knows his intentions are pure. And my advice for anybody now who's getting caught up in the social media, oh, my camera turned off. My advice for anybody who's getting caught up in the social media outrage is to look at somebody's intentions. Before you try to cancel them, try to think about what they are intending. Are they intending to be bad? Are they intending to spread hate? Or are they intending to spread something? Are they intending to spread love speech?
I mean, it's all good to play the game, but do you think when you get to Ye's level, when you're a billionaire, he just doesn't care anymore? He doesn't care how he's going to be perceived by others, so he can just put out whatever message he wants or whatever he wants to state. We're big fans of his music. You know, I've grown up listening to Kanye, and he's always had intentions of running for president. But do you think he just got to a point where, I don't want to play the game, I want to flip the chessboard over and I can say whatever I want?
Which is good. You know, we have been abiding by the rules about what we're allowed to say, what we're not allowed to say for so long. And people should be grateful that there's somebody who's willing to risk his bank account, his reputation, all of his deals in order to open up and break the Overton window about what we're allowed to talk about. So yeah, there's, on one side, you need to play the game in order to get public support, and then Ye's is just like, fuck the game, I'm going to flip it over. You're completely right.
Like you said, controversy can sometimes be good. I don't think there'd be many Australian outlets that would want to get Sneako on, but we happily welcome you on because we think, you know, conversations need to be happening.
And we ourselves down here are considered controversial. I don't know why.
What would your advice be for us if we're looking to head overseas, start making content? Because like you said, one of your best quotes, I think the way you ended the year was, I started off 2022 as with 1 million YouTube subscribers and a brokey. But I'm ending 2022 as a millionaire and banned off YouTube. Is that a mindset thing?
Of course, it's a mindset. You can't back down. If you have something that you stand for and that you believe in, if you fully follow that and you never let somebody, if you never let the shaming tactics or the cancel culture get to you, then people are going to find your message and people are going to respect you more for really sticking to something, because people don't really stand for anything anymore. If you ask most content creators, if you ask the cancel culture people, what do you stand for? They don't know. I think a good question to ask yourself for anybody who's getting into this space is what exactly do you stand for? What is your actual philosophy? And everybody that I associate myself with, they have a clear philosophy. Like, yes, it's entertainment. Yes, I'm doing with the eyelashes, but there's a point behind it. I'm trying to, expose female delusion, which is funny. People think that I got banned for being a violent misogynist, but I got banned for cyberbullying for the Lee jokes. Like, yeah, you brought that up. That was cyberbullying. So my advice is to stand on what you stand on if you wholeheartedly believe it. And also the market right now, that there's a lack of masculine presence, and there's no leaders anymore. There's nobody. Everybody has folded and has given up to what they truly believe, because the cancel culture and the brainwashing is so strong. It happened to me, and I'm ashamed of that. Like, in the beginning of the pandemic, I put on a mask, stuff like that. I quarantined, and inherently, as soon as it started, I knew that this is all nonsense. I knew that they were going to do this to try to usher in vaccines, and in order to, so Big Pharma can make a lot of money. But I was with my girlfriend, who was extremely scared, and I gave up, and I started following that too. But I think the market that is necessary for masculine men to spread the truth.
Going back to Kanye and Andrew Tate, you've obviously worked with both of them last year, and they're kind of following that same path, banned off social media. Andrew Tate's arrested. Kanye's talked about being arrested for some sort of tax fraud. In your opinion, Andrew Tate or Kanye West, who was more cancelled in 2022?
That's a good question. They pretty equal. They took Andrew and Tristan Tate's payment processor. They were banned from Uber. But Ye, it was like publicly debanked, went from a billionaire, like lost his billionaire status. It's pretty equal. But the fact that Andrew and Tristan Tate are in jail right now, I think that's a different level of canceled. And one of the ideologies I followed in 2022 when I was streaming that helped red pill me was, if they censor it, it's true. The elites, they don't want you to know the truth. They want to spread lies in order to keep us controlled. So by extension, whoever is the most censored is spreading the most amount of truth. And that's how I found a lot of the people that I speak to regularly, like Nick Fuentes. They put him on a no-fly list. He's not able, he's 24 years old. He got off the no-fly list, but he wasn't able to fly. He wasn't able to access a bank account. They banned him from all social media platforms. I got my Twitter back. I don't think he's ever going to get his Twitter back. So yeah, I would think that Andrew and Tristan were more canceled for the fact that they're in jail right now and they're being investigated for trafficking. But Ye still close second.
Do you think there is the kind of motion for change? Elon Musk being in here in Twitter, he's putting out the Twitter files. Do you think, you on Rumble now, do you think there's a wave of change coming, or it's gone in the other direction?
Yeah, I'm optimistic about it. I think there's a change coming. But at the same time, I'm not optimistic about the future of the West. And I think Australia is not considered the West, but these countries that push degeneracy, I'm sure that you have the blue-haired feminists. I'm sure that you have woke people.
Yeah, a lot of blue-haired here. Newtown, Sydney.
Yeah, blue-haired, they, thems, gender-fluid people. So I'm optimistic about the future of people waking up. See, one of the truths that I had to sit with that really upset me, and it shouldn't have upset me, but I'm still learning, was that you can't win. Like we will never be able to beat the elites. We will never be able to beat the Matrix. They ultimately have all the power, all the control. They can kill you. They can silence you. They can ruin your reputation. They can separate you from your they can do whatever they want to do. So the only solution is to wake up as many people as possible and just try to enjoy life while it's still worth living. But I'm not optimistic about the West. What I am optimistic about is being able to wake up enough people. But it takes a lot of it takes courage, and you need to have your head screwed on properly in order to fight this battle. And the way to do it is to believe in God, is to train every day, is to not buy into the bullshit, and to analyze things properly. But yeah, I think the tide was turned in 2022. People are going to look back on that fondly as the year where the Matrix was actually started to crack, and more people woke up than ever. What Elon Musk has done, what Andrew and Tristan Tate have done, and especially what Ye has done.